Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video on another lovely sunny day in the northeast. Not too bad, is it? Especially after a huge win at the weekend against Chelsea. Newcastle fighting for second place this season. Don't want to jump ahead of things. At the end of the day, before you come in the top 5 and get Champions League, I'm a happy man. In fairness, had you offered me a cup in 17th place at the start of the season, I still would have been a happy man, but now potentially fighting, well, certainly, I would potentially say Champions League and a cup is the best season in my lifetime already, you know. But to have the chance to fight for second is massive. Going in against Arsenal at the weekend, and, I just hope we can grab something this weekend, and it would mean that the game against Everton is a party, basically. If to already have Champions League before we even step into the game against Everton, you know, in a week and a half's time would be spot on. And hopefully the sun's shining like this. It's a bank holiday Monday. That's Sunday. If you're thinking last game of the season on a Sunday, you know, it's bank holiday Monday. So I think the parties will be in Newcastle when we hopefully qualify for Champions League and, you know, potentially, you know, try and get second, third place. Regardless, great season. And yes, we're already looking into the summer, aren't we? And the reports today, I mean, there's been a few whispers of this for some time now, and I think for the reason that Jack Grealish ain't getting the game at Manchester City, is he? So for that reason, he's naturally going to be linked away from Man City. Has done for a few windows, but this summer seems to be the time where he's potentially going to make his move. And Newcastle is a team that has been linked, whether it be on a permanent deal or a loan. Now, Jack Grealish is a funny one. I think I've spoken about Jack Grealish a few times on this channel, and not necessarily in a good way, because he was slagging off Miggy, wasn't he? He was slagging off one of our players. So yeah, I had a bit of a pop with Grealish a couple of years ago. But generally speaking, like outside of football, I don't know, I guess people have different views. I kind of see the way our players are, you know, on the rooftop bus, having a good laugh, Bruno shouting, Tonali singing, you know, Gordon getting involved, you know, all that kind of banter, and I guess trying to, like, enjoy it, you know. Fair enough, they're well paid, they've got to win, but you can see with our players, there's the serious on the pitch and then they have a laugh off. Jack Grealish clearly has a laugh off the pitch. You could argue maybe too much of a laugh off the pitch at times, but generally speaking, he seems to be a nice enough bloke. And under Eddie Howe's no, you know, idiot policy is what I'll say. I wonder where Jack Grealish will rank on that one. I think he would do all right. I think he's an English player, and generally speaking, seems to be a nice enough bloke. And the Athletic, you know, good source there is saying that Newcastle are a team that are linked with him, whether that be on a permanent or on a loan deal. I mean, straight away, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you not want him because he had a go at Miggy and we'll never forgive him? Or is that something that Newcastle should be looking at? I mean, generally speaking, the loan market is not something that we've really ever got massively involved with. I guess Kennedy, when he came in under Mike Ashley, under Rafa, he was great for a bit. Was it Jetro Williams? He'll go down as a Newcastle legend for years after his 3-month loan spell. So it's been some time, and I think, fair enough, the word is that Newcastle have no problems with FFP. We are a team that will be targeting other teams for their FFP issues. But if there's an opportunity of a loan, I don't see. The downsides would be how much do they want to pay him, how much are the wages. But if Newcastle can actually work a good deal, it's one that I would be interested in hearing. The trouble is they don't want to loan Jack Grealish. I think Man City want to probably try and recoup what money they can for the 100 million they spent to get a bit more money back in their coffer to then go out and spend themselves. And as I say, fair enough, Newcastle are being linked. If you go into Google now, feel free to do so. Do it on your second screen though, or on a separate tab. Don't turn this video off. And type in Jack Grealish. You will get a list of about 40 teams who have been linked with him. And as I say, I think it's because he's a player who's potentially going to make his move this summer, and because of that, a lot of teams are going to be touted as his next move. Some journalists actually saying that Man City themselves have offered Jack Grealish to Newcastle as a potential player that would be available, and it's whether Newcastle would be interested or not. I think Jack Grealish is a good player. And I'm never going to sit here and go, no, I'm not interested in a good footballer. For Newcastle right now, though, if it was a loan deal, then yeah, let's add him. Let's get him in. Let's have him, Barnes and Gordon as choices on that left-hand side. And I've answered my own question there. If it's a permanent deal, if it's 30, 40, 50 million, I just don't think we need him, to be honest. Unless you go down the route of, obviously Barnes has been linked away to Aston Villa. You know, Gordon previously was linked away from the club. I think Salah signing his new deal at Liverpool will hopefully have Gordon's head switched on and know that really if they're paying Salah 400 grand a week, they're probably not going to be coming in for him again this summer window. So because of all that, I just don't see it as a reality. On the flip side, you've also got reports coming out saying that Pep's interested in signing Tino from us, which I'm not surprised by, because Tino is a fantastic young player, and Man City still haven't replaced, Kyle Walker, really. I think they've got some positions they need to try and strengthen. We, as we stand, have the best left-back in the league, Lewis Hall, up there with one of the best right-backs in the league, and Tino Livramento. The best left-sided centre-back in the league, Dan Burn, and Botman challenging for his position. So we've got, and if you include Botman in that one, so you've got the young right-back, young left-back, young centre-backs, but we're looking for a new right-sided centre-back. I think letting Tino go is taking a step backwards. I just don't think it's necessary. It puts us on the back foot. It puts us back into the market. Having said that, and I say this all the time, in the words of Darren Eales, and yet we still don't do it. Although I'm lying, we did do some player trading. We did some great player trading. We got Kelly in on a free and then sold him for 20 million. So if you want a player trade, speak to Paul Mitchell. But that is what I think is interesting for Newcastle, is how we go forward. Because when you talk about Newcastle are interested in Ramsey from Aston Villa are interested in Barnes, will that be a swap deal? Absolutely not. Newcastle would sell Barnes, we would buy Ramsey, and it's because of PSR. It's you bought a player for this much, you sold him for that much, you paid so much over the first 2 years, so everything you get after the sale is money you can spend in the next transfer. If we were to be interested in a Grealish on a loan, that's not costing us anything, and then you sell Tino for 70 million, because I'm not selling him for anything less than that. And then we've got a right back lined up at another club that we're interested in, who only cost 10 million, but then you build the wealth of. I think it's something Newcastle shouldn't ever just totally rule out, because it's the way until we have our brand new stadium, we have our new shirts crest that can, according to the club, make us more money. I'm interested to see how that's really going to flourish, but we will wait and see. New stadium, new training ground sponsor, anyone? Do you think we might ever get one of them? Until Newcastle start hitting these things that we're not doing, the best way to make money and the best way to stay, I guess, fluid, dynamic with our spending is to sell, buy. And, I do it because people are saying, oh, well, is it time to let Bruno go? I don't ever want to let Bruno go. I want to keep Bruno forever. I want Bruno. This is genuine. I think Bruno had offers and turned them down because he wanted to stay at Newcastle. He wanted to win a cup with Newcastle. I want to keep Bruno till he's 45 and he's just chilling in the stands with the fans. I don't want to make any money back on a Bruno. And that's the thing with an Isak and a Tonali. I mean, no way. But then you look at the likes of a Longstaff getting linked to a Leeds. It's easy to get attached to players, but the reason we haven't been able to spend PSR for 3 transfer windows or whatever is because we haven't been fluid enough with in and out. And no, I don't want to sell Tino. And no, I don't really want to sell Barnes. I think he just had a fantastic time with us. But if Gordon starts getting played again and Barnes sits on the bench from now till January, and I've said this in my last video, we could get 50 million for him now. Probably wouldn't get that in the Christmas. So it's something that we'll have to just wait and see how Newcastle function. I think what I'd like to see, obviously, is for us to just splash the cash and not sell anyone this summer. But I think there will be a few that do go, whether it is a long staff, whether it's just the fact that Lascelles' contract ends and he walks out the door. I think, and Kelly's already gone. But yeah, I guess to round off the video, would I be interested in Jack Grealish? I'm up for listening. If it's a loan deal and the wages are reasonable, then maybe it's not the worst shout I've ever heard. Do I want to let Tino go? No. Do I want to let Barnes go? Not really, unless it's really benefiting us. If someone's willing to pay over the top fees for a player who, in Barnes, you know, is, well, he is getting the first team game, isn't he? So I'm just kind of waffling now. I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've not edited this one, as I say. It was a bit of a breaking news on the Jack Grealish stuff, so I thought I'd sit down and chat with you guys. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you're watching this in your garden, in the sun, wherever you are. And as I say, a big game this weekend against Arsenal. And I think anything from that game will probably be enough. Because you're bearing in mind that you really need Chelsea and Villa, Forest to basically win all their games, and Chelsea and Forest play each other. So it looks like it's done, but I'll never say it till it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.